Monday the 27th of October. This is the first entry of the video journal that I want to keep. Just got back from the cruise on Saturday morning. It's now Monday morning, about 11 o'clock. I did start writing a journal on the cruise and found it was taking 10, 20, 30 minutes to type all the stuff out. So I'm looking at doing the videos to speed the process up, and my aim is to do a recording for about 5 minutes every morning, reflecting on emotions, the progress of the coaching and personal development that I'm working through, and then also setting daily goals and short-term goals. So going on what's happened over the last few days, going on that cruise was a great experience from a personal perspective, where I was reading the personal development books, sort of floating on a high, not having a lot of stresses and impacts from normal day-to-day life. Made the stuff that we were reading and the relaxing and getting along quite uplifting and quite upbeat and quite positive. And then when we returned on Saturday morning, that all sort of came to a halt. Nick realised that she'd got the address wrong for the HSC marking, which threw a bit of a spanner in the works. Caused conflict in the sense of, once again, I felt angry, upset, disappointed, frustrated, whatever it is, that we had plans to drop her at Randwick. I'd go back, get the car and head on up to Mum's. But that time was going to be delayed, or I thought it was going to be delayed. Now that I've thought about it over the last couple of days, I've seen that I wanted to get to see Tim and the girls. I wanted to get up to Mum so I could focus on the gambling process and the systems that I was trying to put in place. So when I look at it, it was really only to hurry to get somewhere else, so it wasn't really worth worrying about. But to be able to look back on it, and after all the stuff that we've read about just focusing on the positive stuff and let the negative stuff go, I was sceptical of, as soon as we got back into reality, the scepticism and the negativity would come back, and it did. And I also appreciate that after reading all that stuff, that it's okay that these things are going to pop up and they are going to happen. I've just got to let them go. So it's taken a couple of days, and I've sifted through it and realised that it wasn't worth worrying about. But it is still niggling in the back of my mind that I feel I need the control to plan things and set things in place and be on time and be in certain places. Whether that's a positive thing or a negative thing, I'm aware of it, and I want to focus on what's going to make us happy. That in turn, we dropped Nick at Homebush. She spent 8 or 9 hours there, got home, sent me a message, we spoke on the phone, we ended up in an argument. Once again, she didn't have a lot of information that I thought I needed, or that we needed, in relation to organising plans over the next couple of weeks while we're in Newcastle and Sydney. We're here to Thursday and Friday. We've got the conference for open colleges. Then we come back to Mum's for the week, and then we go to the golf trip for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And Nick goes down to Sydney to look after Tal for one of his course seminars. So yeah, there's obviously a bit of frustration there and boil up. We argued and sifted between calm conversation, and then when we discussed the lack of planning and what I expected and what she expected, we identified a few things. And then yesterday on Sunday, spent a couple of hours on the phone. Nick was in tears a fair bit. I didn't feel like we were arguing. I was just trying to express and get off my chest what was disappointing me, what I was worried about that wasn't changing, or I was worried that wouldn't change in the future. That was along the lines of, I think the analogy I gave was, if Nick plants seeds in the garden, trees then grow, and then it makes it hard for the car to get out of the driveway because the trees are in the way. Nick focuses on cutting those trees back, where I'm actually suggesting that there's a problem with planting the seeds, and Nick continues to forget about looking at planting the seeds. It's just, she wants to do it, therefore it's going to be done, and nothing can change about that, and that's what I'm concerned about. And then on the back of that, we had long discussions about, okay, well, if you want to plant the seeds and I don't want to plant the seeds, there needs to be a compromise. If the compromise is that we plant the seeds, then is there going to be a compromise in the future favouring me because I didn't want the seeds in the way the driveways looked at and X, Y, Z, rah-de-rah-de-rah. Nick then took it as, well, they're different situations, so you look at each situation on independently, and I was trying to explain that the second situation is based on the decision of the first one. So how the trees are cut back and how the car gets out of the driveway is codependent on the seeds even being planted. And she got away by planting the seeds because that's what she wanted to do. I didn't want to do it. I was happy to do it because she wanted to do it, but my concerns I wanted to be addressed. Anyway, right. We ended up arguing. I look back on it. Again, I keep using the word arguing. I didn't think we were arguing. I just thought we were discussing certain situations. I don't think we really accomplished much other than wasting a lot of time. So we want to move forward. I want to focus on how we're going to achieve these things. For example, Saturday morning, she's got a mark from 8:30 till 4. I've got problems with, once again, the HSC marking company setting it up that they're paying the teachers as a contractor, in the sense of they're paying them per exam they're marking, but they're paying them financially as a casual employee. Now, this presents quite a few issues to me. I don't think it's fair. This is other anchors that I've got that companies seem to just take the easy way and the employees get screwed. They're going to get paid $5 an exam. Basically, 3 or 4 weeks ago, Nick mentioned prices somewhere in $70 an hour during the day, $85 an hour in the evening, and up to $110 on Sundays. Now it seems like they're suggesting $5 an exam, and they can do one every 5 minutes, which is basically $60 an hour, which is well under the basic rate that they were paying in weekdays. So all these things sort of bubble to the surface. Nick sort of identified that she should have just come out and said it doesn't make any difference about the money, the time. All she wanted to do was do the marking. I think that's where we got into a bit of an issue. I was looking at it as we've left home for the best part of a month, which I don't overly enjoy. I like being in Queensland. I'm not a big fan of Sydney and the heat and all that sort of stuff. But we've had to juggle things. So now Saturday morning we thought we were going to have a cruise on Friday evening, meaning we sleep into the hotel, we just check out and make our way back up to Mum's. It now seems Nick needs to have complete internet access from 8:30 in the morning till 4 in the afternoon. They have to work within time schedules. They have to work, and these are the things that are pissing me off and annoying me. The online marking, if it's meant to be done at home, then they should be able to work the hours that they do. I also understand that they can get kicked out, but they could have supervisors on all the times rather than explicit times. It sort of takes the freedom away, and the pay isn't that great. So, anyway, that's the gripes for the weekend. This is the first blog post, 27th Monday. I am going to leave it there and then move into more positive discussions about where we start from here.